Hi guys, so I wanted to talk about abortion real quick. But the thing is, everybody's forgotten that there are people who cannot conceive. Okay, so if you get pregnant and you're not ready or it's an inconvenience to you and you want to be selfish enough to destroy the gift that God is trying to give you, regardless of if it's wanted, it may be needed to set you into a different headspace or something else. Okay, so, or maybe if you don't want the child, okay, it's okay if you don't want kids. Give it to someone who literally is losing their marriage because they can't have a child. Okay, like we fail to neglect the other side of things where there are women who are trying to have children and they can't, they physically cannot. Their bodies will not allow it to happen. Picture what they're going through, okay? So if you are fortunate enough to get pregnant, okay, then allow yourself to carry that child, okay? Because it's not your choice that you came here, okay? Like, some of us don't plan children, okay? I know I wasn't planned for sure at the fuck all, okay? If my mom would have had an abortion, which she had me at 16 or 17, I wouldn't be here, okay? But I know that although she wasn't ready, although she definitely didn't ask for me, I know that her having me blessed her life in so many different ways. And it caused her to go down a different path that she was meant for. My mother is meant to be a mother. She now has 5 children, 5 beautiful, beautiful children, okay? So, and she's a great mom. She was made for that, okay? I have had people who are in nasty, abusive relationships that they're really toxic, and then they end up getting pregnant, okay? That mother was depressed. That mother was suicidal. That mother, before she was a mother, okay, that girl was suicidal, had absolutely no purpose in life, was literally giving herself away, whether it's to this one person or to many, okay? Had no purpose, and then she became pregnant. And guess what? Her becoming pregnant, her becoming a mother, her having a connection with a love that is unconditional because you are birthing another life through you, that changed her whole entire life. Although she did not want that, she didn't plan the baby, okay? But she allowed God, she trusted God and said, all right, clearly this happened from that, wasn't expecting that, didn't even ask for that, but she trusted God. And guess what? She's one of the best mothers I know. She is so kind and so sweet. Having that baby changed her heart. Having that baby, growing with that baby for 9 months and then actually getting to meet the face of what she was birthing for 9 months changed her whole life. Regardless of if you want something, sometimes what you want is not what you need, okay? Sometimes what we want is the exact opposite of what we need. Okay? Sometimes you could be out there having mindless sex, or you just want to have sex with whoever you want. You don't want to protect yourself. You don't want to do this. There are consequences for every single action that you take. So if you are going to have sex, protect yourself. Now let's go back to the rape thing. If you get raped and then you get pregnant, you don't have to keep that baby once it's born. Give it to someone who wants that baby. Someone who doesn't have a child, who's not able to conceive. Do you know how many marriages start to fall apart because people are not able to have their own children? They're not able to conceive. They're not able to have that part of life together. Don't forget about the other side of things. Yes, do what you want with your body. Clearly, you are doing what you want with your body, okay? So go do that. But guess what? Every single choice that you make is an unfolding of timelines. So be mindful of the choices that you make. Make sure that you're not just serving your flesh, okay? Make sure that you're not just serving negative shit, okay? Like, so many women give their bodies away because they want to feel loved, but then they get pregnant and they're like, oh well, I'm not ready for that. Then quit trying to have sex with everything that walks. Men, if you're gonna just try to impregnate everything that walks, know that there's gonna be a consequence for that sooner or later. Start being mindful. I know that I was taught If you are not okay to look at this man, okay, the man that you're getting ready to have sex with, and this is just how I was taught. If this man that you're getting ready to have sex with, if you had a child and you're not okay with him being the father of your child, why are you having sex with him? Is it really that good or that big of a deal that you have to do it with someone you're not even willing to take the consequence of what sex was made for? Sex was not made for pleasure. Sex was made, it is pleasureful because it's called for recreation. We were given sex to create. That's how else do you have another human? By sex. That's the purpose of it. But people want to start, people just love to pleasure, that they get caught up in that, and then they start to abuse sex and have sexual accords with everyone out there because they just want to have sex all the time. Because now they're controlled by sexual desires rather than being controlled by their heart. Okay? Because when you tune in to the heart space and when you tune in to higher levels of yourself and self-awareness, sexual desires actually decrease because you start to realize that where people resonate, if they're resonating from the heart space or if they're resonating from a lower center, which is pleasure. It's selfish. It's self-centered. I'm not saying like sex is selfish. Sex is beautiful. Sex is sacred. Okay, so if you're going to have sex, allow it to be sacred. Do it for what it's for. But instead, everybody wants to just have sex and be like, oh, well, I wasn't ready to get pregnant. I don't want to get pregnant. Okay, then guess what? Stop having sex mindlessly. Protect yourself, okay? Well, I was this, I was that. We can have so many excuses. But guess what? The day that you do want to have a child, and then you can't have a child because that abortion messed up your stomach or whatever. And I'm not saying people who have had abortions can't have children, because they can. So many people have had abortions and then they have children now. Okay? But here's the thing. When another life is trying to come through, when you are blessed with another life to come through you, it's because that life is supposed to be coming through. Okay? Like, you're not the one in control of that. You're just the one you're the vessel for it. You're the vessel it's being held in. If people need to just have mindful sex. And if you want to have sex, then have protected sex. And if something bad has happened to you, like I understand rape. I've been there. It's something that is so, so traumatizing, okay? And to have that have to almost carry a reminder, I don't know how that would feel. I don't know how that would feel. But to know that I was doing what God asked me to, which is to value all life, which is the life that he placed inside of me, regardless of who the fuck it's from, boyfriend, non-boyfriend, the dude who raped me, doesn't matter. Because I know dudes aren't going around raping to impregnate people. They're going around doing their nasty ass business because they're sick. They're sick in their fucking heads. I'm not justifying it. They're just nasty, okay? They're not trying to impregnate people. At least I don't think any of them would. I don't know why they would do that unless they're that sick even more, okay? But the thing is, it's like, fuck whoever else is outside of you. If something happens to you, and now I'm speaking to the women, if something happens to you, it's meant for you. Oh, so I was meant to get raped? I asked myself that question, dear. I said, why the hell would you allow me to get raped? From me getting raped, I got to look at the situations I was putting myself in. I got to look at my habits. I got to look at the whole entire situation of how things happened. Okay? And I also started to value my body differently after that. I started to look at things differently after that. Being raped changed me in a lot of different ways. And at first it was very, very traumatic for a very long time. But in the end, it made me stronger because I had to heal through it. I had to heal through men as well. Being able to heal and forgive and all of this stuff, it makes you stronger. I don't need to hold a grudge to some man who clearly needs to be prayed for. because he's lost and he's sick and he's nasty. And you know what? His life is his own. But I was saved because I'm still here. I'm a living victim from it. And guess what? I was given strength from that. And, you know, so let's go back to what I was talking about. If I had to carry that for 9 months, I thought about this before I even did this video. I was like, wow, you know, that would almost be like a constant reminder of what was happening. And this is where we say, fuck what's outside of us. This is where we go back and we connect with God directly, okay? And you're like, okay, well, God clearly implanted me with this child, okay? This child, God wants me to deliver this child for him. It's okay to be like, hey, God, you know, I don't know if I can be a mother to this child. I don't know if I can live with this child. That's okay. That might be your truth, dear. But it was you who he chose to get this child out of. Okay, so maybe the birth of your child is a blessing to someone else because someone else has been trying for years to have a child and they couldn't. And you happen to have one at the right time to help heal this family of all of their wounds that they're going through because of them not being capable of having their own children. Sometimes the pain that we go through, let's talk about emotional pain, right? Let's talk about depression, all that shit. Sometimes the pain we go through is given to us because we're strong enough to handle it. We are given things when we are least expecting them, especially the hard shit. The hard shit comes when it's least expected because it really puts you to the test at that time. I'm going to take my depression. If I never looked at my depression in the face, if I never studied my depression, if I never studied my mind, if I never focused on my healing, if I never hurt, if I never went through the pain, the nasty ass traumatic events, if I never faced those, and if I never went through them, I would not be who I am now, and I would not be helping who I help now, okay? I wouldn't be doing healings. Sometimes if we don't go through pain, we're not able to do what we came here to do, okay? Not everything is rainbows and butterflies. Out of pain creates strength and wisdom, okay? So, you know, instead of focusing on, oh, well, you're not going to let me do what I want with my body. No, maybe think about it in a way of like, you know what? I'm going to birth this baby because God asked me to. God asked me, and God gave me this baby. I didn't ask for this, okay? But God gave me this baby. I'm going to trust in God's plan. I may not want this baby, but I'm going to trust that it's here for a reason because everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for us, not to us. Everything happens for us, not to us. One more time for everybody in the back. Everything happens for us, not to us. I'm going to just, you know, trust in God, trust in his plan, and I'm going to deliver this baby for him. I may have no plans on keeping this baby, but guess what? I'm going to start searching right now since I have 9 months ahead of me. I'm going to start searching for qualified parents who really, really, really want and deserve a child. But because everybody's so fucking selfish and self-centered, self-righteous, all you care about is me, me, me. Well, I'm not ready. I don't want to be. I don't want to. Dude, chill. You're fucking not even realizing that you're blessed as fuck to even get pregnant, okay? Regardless of how it happened, you are blessed to be able to have a child because not everybody is given that blessing. You are blessed to be able to have a child. Not everything is up to you. Everything is up to God. If you are dealing with something traumatic, pray. Pray for an answer. Pray for an outlet. Ask for guidance from God, from the Almighty Creator, the one who created you, the one who wrote your life out for you. Everything is destined. Everything has already happened. Everything is fated. Yes, you have a choice, but guess what? God knows your choice before you even make it. God knows exactly what you're going to say before you say it. God knows the thoughts that are going on in your head. God knows the wars that you're dealing with every day. God is with you, waiting for you to be like, yo, can you help me out with this? Can you help me understand why you chose me for this? Can you help me understand why you put a shitty situation on me, bud? He will tell you. He will give you guidance, give you strength to get you through it. You're never alone because you're always with God. God is always with you. So if something is happening to you where you don't want your child, be like, God, help me find somebody who wants this child, and help me be mentally strong enough and physically strong enough. Help me do what you're asking me to do right now, because this is really, really hard for me. It's not going to be easy, especially in rape cases if that happens. That's not going to be easy. But guess what? Rape victims, regardless, have got to pray. If you want to heal those traumas, you've got to pray. Because I know from experience that shit, it creates like festering infections and diseases in your mindset and in everything, really, in your belief systems, in a lot. It depends on what's happened to you. You know, it really depends on what's happened to you, how bad it was. I mean, everybody has their own different experiences in it. So regardless, you've got to pray. You know, regardless, you have to pray for the strength to even heal through it. You know, for the strength, for that burden to be lifted off of you, for you to truly heal and be free from that. So, I don't know, guys, like, I just wanted to talk about abortion because, yes, I believe that we should be able to do what we want with our bodies, because you know what? That's your body. Do what you want with it. But guess what? When it comes to life, I do not think that anyone has a right to anybody else's life. Anyone. It doesn't matter where you are at. Doesn't matter if you're at the top of the fucking food chain or at the bottom, okay? You do not have a right to another's life. You do not get to decide when somebody comes or when somebody goes. You don't decide when it's somebody's time to die, and you do not decide when it's somebody's time to come live on this earth. It's not your choice. It is not your choice. Because guess what? If somebody else got to choose your life, if someone else got to say, oh, you know what? Like your mother. If your mother said, you know what? I'm just done dealing with you today. Let's just send her off. Send him off. Let's just take care of them. You know, I'm tired of being a mother, because being a mother is not easy. Being a parent in general, mother, father, not easy. If somebody just decided to give up on you because you're too hard to be taken care of, how would that feel? You're not in charge, or I'm sorry, not in charge, but yeah, really not in charge. You don't run who comes here and who goes. That's beyond you, and you're not qualified for it. You're a human. You were born through another human because you were given as a gift by God. So allow God to continue to give his gifts, because he has children come through and children come through so that they can help this world. And sometimes he gives a child to a mother who has nothing, because that child is going to give her unconditional love. Does that mother expect it? No. But you got to let it develop. You got to trust. Everything happens for you, not to you. Even the worst situations happen to us so that we can mold and grow and learn from things. And sometimes, like this one lady that I follow on Instagram, I love her. You know, abuse victims and rape victims. Sometimes they're survivors and they've been through what they've been through, so that if anybody else comes across that, they don't crumble to the ground and they don't fall into depression and they don't try to kill themselves, or they don't just die. Some people are put through a nasty situation because they have the strength to overcome it and heal from it and spread that strength and life to other people who are wounded. Because it doesn't matter the severity of the wound. A wound is a wound. Whether it is a paper cut, that needs time to heal, or whether it's a fucking gunshot, that takes time to heal. The depth is different, but it still requires healing. I'm just asking everybody to, instead of being so surface about this whole thing, surface about abortion. It's about what I want to do with my... Quit being selfish, dude. Connect with God. Connect with spirituality. People say that, oh, I'm spiritual, Are you? Because if you were, you would truly value life. And you would trust in the flow of everything, right? Trust that what happens to you is for you. Whether it's for your abundance as a blessing or whether it's for your growth because you are being reformed. People have got to check back into their values. You treat other people how you would want to be treated, okay? So I treat this whole thing, I look back like, if my grandma would have said my mom, hey, yeah, go ahead, have an abortion, I would not be here. And guess what? If I wasn't here, every single person that I've helped, that I've built up, that I have helped them connect with everything that I've done, all of the beautiful things and all of the shitty things, it doesn't matter. I have an impact as well as all of us. Every single person, regardless of if you think you're doing something, you impact something. We're all here for a reason. Doesn't matter what it is, but we are all here for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. If I wasn't here, no one's life would be the same because it would have been there's a chain reaction of shit. You know what I mean? Including your life, because one person affects a lot of shit. It's a domino effect. If I push one domino, they all go down. Now guess what? If I push one domino and I remove one, it stops falling. The cycle doesn't complete. Quit messing with God's plan, yo. Like that's the biggest thing is you got to trust in God's plan. Don't try to control God's plan. The only thing that you can do is control your reaction to God's plan. Learn how to trust. And if it's something that you're not okay with, really ask and learn how to wiggle from it. Be like, I don't get why you're doing this to me. And have a conversation with God. I'm scared. I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I can do this. He'll guide you to the right people who want your baby. He'll guide you, or you don't even know at the end of those 9 months, you may really, really want your baby. Because you're connecting, you're growing that inside of you. You don't know what it's like. Allow yourself to surrender, to let go, and to know that God doesn't want you to suffer. God wants to bless you. We suffer due to the choices that we make and the energies that we choose to feed. We suffer because we lack in faith. When you're in faith, I'm not saying you're never going to suffer, but guess what? I know that when I'm in a shitty situation and I'm like, you know what? Wow. Like whether I'm crying, whether I'm angry, whether I'm sad, anything. I know that the minute that I start praying, things get a lot better. Even if the situation is still shitty, the fact that I've connected to God and connected to my faith makes me trust that all this chaos, this too shall pass. Not everything will be perfect. There will always be rain and there will always be sunshine. But guess what? The rain is needed because we got to help everything grow, right? If there was no rain, this would be a dry desert. But there is rain for a reason. Just like there's sunlight for a reason. Just like there's everything is for a reason. Trust in the seasons of your life. Sometimes there's unexpected things. Like some people get tornadoes, right? Shit happens because life happens. Let go, let God. They're trying to take away our rights to our bodies. No, they're not actually. They're just trying to save lives because they realize that it's not a choice. When a life is coming through, it's God's choice. They're just trying to keep you from killing. Simple as that. Because you should give it to someone who really deserves it and needs it. Some people who really want to be a mother. There's always another way, okay? Besides killing. There is always another way besides violence, just like in an argument. Instead of me screaming at you, I could sit here and talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way around everything besides violence. An abortion is violent to the mother and to the fetus, the child, the soul that's trying to come through and live. So, you know, sorry that this video is long, but this is just, I needed to say something. So, is what it is. Yeah, I mean, connect with God, guys. Like, the thing is, and I know that there's a woman who was pregnant that's people shot. Someone shot. I don't know the full story. I literally just saw this before I made this video. Someone shot a woman who was pregnant, and she died. One, the fact that someone even shot her is wrong. I don't give a fuck. The fact that you shot her is wrong. The fact that she was pregnant means that you now are accountable for 2 deaths. It's all fucked up. The message is no violence because it's not your choice to give a life and it's not your choice to take a life. Just like, guess what? People will be trying and trying and trying and they won't have a baby, and then they're not trying and then they get pregnant. Because guess what? It's not on your time. You're not choosing when something's coming through, and you're not choosing when it's someone's time to go. Everybody has a purpose here. Everybody is destined for something or someone. It's not your choice. It's pro-life, not just about the babies. It's pro-life in general. There are always mixes in the system. The world's not perfect. The world is not perfect at all. But the thing is we have to take one step at a time, address one situation at a time. Let's address abortion, and let's address what just happened with the gunshot. Nobody should be shooting anybody. Nobody should be hurting anybody at all. Where is the love? Where's the unity? Where's the respect? If you're pro-life, if everybody's pro-life, then they would be pro-life. That means to animals, that means to people, that means to everything. Because you understand life, and you understand love, and you understand essence, and you understand the beauty in every single little bit of God's creation, even the chaos and even the dark. There is beauty in everything He creates. And every single thing that is created by the God Almighty is created for us. And it is created for our either abundance and blessings or for our growth, strength, and refinement. Sometimes we're broken down so He can build us up stronger. And when we're strong, sometimes we're just given a little bit of extra juice to keep pumping, right? It's just life. Learn to love and trust it. Trust God. That's all I got to say. This video is getting real long, so that's it. Have a good day, guys. God bless you.